So Hare Krishna, we are so fortunate to have His Grace Ram Shraddha Prabhu from Mayapur, India, and Prabhuji will enlighten us on Srimad Bhagvatam, 7th canto, 7th chapter, and verse number 16 and onwards. So Hare Krishna, Ram Shraddha Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam, Shri Prabhupada ki jai Guru Maharaj. Welcome to the call. Please take over the call now.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Please repeat after me this prayers. Mangalacharana. Vandeham Sri Gurum Sri Yutapada Kamalam Sri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanutam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padalakitam Sri Chaitanya Om Jnana Varandasya Jnana Jana Chalakaya Chakshur Militam Nam Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishnaya Chaitale Srimade Bhakti Vedanta Swami Tinamane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Prachani Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Prasad Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Tinamane Sivashabhanavi Devi Daitaya Kripabde Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Dayane Prabhuve Namah Madhurojjala Premadhya Sri Rupanuga Bhaktida Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namaste Namaste Gauravani Simurte Tri Matarini Rupanuga Viruddhapa Prasiddhant Dvanta Harini Panchakalpataruva Sukripa Sindhu Tuve Gaura Chandrai Radhikai Tadalaya Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktai Tadbhaktai Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradaya Te Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Nama He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Govida Kanta Radha Kanta Namaste Sapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhi Vrindavameshwari Vrishabhanusuti Devi Pranamami Hari Sapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhi Vrindavameshwari Vrishabhanusuti Devi Pranamami Jaitam Surato Pangor Mama Mandamati Argati Matsarvasi Padamboja Shishi Radha Madana Mohanam Divyad Vrindaranya Kalpadrumada Srimad Ratnangara Simhasanasto Srimad Radha Shila Govinda Devo Krishna Lim Sevyamano Smarang Shriman Rasa Rasarambi Vamsivata Tatastita Karshan Venu Swanar Gopi Gopinath Shresma Vrindaya Tulsi Devaya Priyaya Keshavascha Krishna Bhakti Devi Satyavata Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Sarvakom Bhaktavataram Bhakta Kim Namami Bhakti Shaktikam Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasri Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Gurudev ki jai, Gaurita Radha Raman Giriraj Giri Govardhan ki jai, Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai ho, Srila Prabhupada's Transcendental Purports ki jai ho, Shukadeva Goswami ki jai.
Jai.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, everybody.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Narayanam Namaskritya.
Narayan Namaskritya.
Naranchaiva Narottamam.
Naranchaya Narottamam.
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam.
Devi Saraswati Vyasam.
Tato Jayamudirahe. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisance unto the personality of Godhead Narayan, unto Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Srinvatam Swakata Krishna
शृण्वतां सततं कृष्ण
पुण्य श्रवण कीर्तना
पुण्यश्रवणकीर्तना
हृदयन्तस्थो भद्राणि
हृदयस्तव भद्राणि
विदुनोति सुहृत्सताम्.
विदुर्नोति सुदुःसताम्.
Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, who is the Paramatma in everyone's heart and the benefactor of the truthful devotee, cleanses desire for material enjoyment from the heart of the devotee who has developed the earth to hear his messages, which are in themselves virtuous and properly heard and chanted. Nashtaprayasha Bhadreshu
अष्टप्रायश भद्रेषु
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya
नित्यं भागवत सेवया
Bhagavati Uttama Shloke
भगवते उत्तम श्लोके
Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki.
भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी.
By regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavatam and by rendering of service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental song, is established as an irrevocable fact. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. One second. Let me put my fan on here.
Hare Krishna.
Okay. So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 7, Text 16. Please repeat after me. Tattu kalasya dirgatvat
ततो कालस्य दीर्घत्वा
stritvan matus tirodade
स्त्रीत्वात्मा तु स्थितो रोधते
rishinan grihitam mam
ऋषिणानुगृहीतं मां
nadunapi ajahat smriti.
नाधुनापि अजहा स्मृतिः.
Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Because of the long duration of time that has passed, and because of her being a woman, therefore less intelligent, my mother was forgotten all the instructions. But the great sage Narada blessed me, and therefore I could not forget them. Please repeat after me. Because of the long duration of time, please repeat, Puja.
Because of the long duration of time
That has passed,
that has passed,
and because of her being a woman,
And
and
because
because of her being a woman,
one,
therefore less intelligent,
and therefore
therefore less intelligent,
has forgotten all those instructions.
my
has
mother has
forgotten all
forgotten
these
all the
instructions.
instructions.
But the great sage Narada blessed me,
But the great sage Narada blessed me,
and therefore I could not forget.
and therefore I could not forget them.
Purport by Srila Prabhupada. In the Bhagavad Gita, the 932, the Lord says, Mami partha vipashritya yepi shyus papa yonaya. Striyo vaishyas tata shudras tepi yanti param gati. O son of Pritha, those who take shelter of me in me, though they may be low-born, women, vaishyas, merchants, or shudras, can approach the supreme destination. The word Papa Yoni refers to those who are less than Shudras. But even though a woman may not be a Papa Yoni, because of being less intelligent, she sometimes forgets devotional instructions. For those who are strong enough, however, there is no question of forgetting. Women are generally attached to material enjoyment, and because of this tendency, they sometimes forget devotional instruction. But if even a woman practices devotional service strictly according to the rules and regulations, the statement by the Lord Himself that she can return to Godhead, Tepi Yanti Param Gati, is not at all astonishing. One must take shelter of the Lord and rigidly
8
follow
o'clock
the
will
rules.
be. Can you just take him there?
Huh? What is it?
Sorry, Prabhuji, I am muted myself.
Okay. Then regardless of what one is, one will return home back to Godhead. Prahlad Maharaj's mother was more concerned protecting the child in the womb and was very anxious to see her husband return. Therefore, she could not consider very seriously the sublime instructions of Narada Muni. So this is a very special verse. And the next verse, it also says, Tri Balanam Name Yata. We will read that also very soon. The woman here is considered less intelligent because they are more concerned about family well-being, especially in the Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur purport on the first canto, first canto, the last chapter. He talks about, Prabhupada translates many things as illicit sex, whereas Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has unmarried woman. They can create a lot of problem in the society. Unmarried women, when they are, nowadays it's common, unmarried women are running around everywhere. They're dressed up in their different outfits, and that can divert the mind of a man. So in this connection here, now our wife of Hiranyakashipu, Kadayu, I think her name, she was more concerned about her husband's son, his successful return to home, and at the same time she was protecting the child. She was doing two activities. One, taking care of the child, which is normal for a woman to do that when she has a child, and to be always considering the well-being of her husband. Now, there was an incident in ISKCON. One point, there was this one boy, young boy, who was the son of Aniruddha. Who was the son of Pradyumna. His son's name was Aniruddha. So Prabhupada was noticing from his room, this boy, nobody is taking care of him. He's very young. He's running around here there. I knew him from a childhood. So Prabhupada wondered, why is nobody taking care of this small boy? If somebody can kidnap him, somebody can do anything. Prabhupada was very concerned. So whose son is this? Then they said, he's the son of Arundhati. Arundhati was a mother's name, Pradyumna's wife. So he called Arundhati, will you please come and meet? So why are you not taking care of your child? So she was telling, well, I'm chanting my japa. So Prabhupada said, your son is running around without any protection or thing, and you are saying you're chanting. Forget, stop your chanting. Don't worry about chanting. Take care of your child. So that is the duty of every woman. If you have a child, you should take care, not that you have to sit. You can sit and chant when he is close by. But when he is going on here and there, you can chant if you are peaceful, but the child requires a lot of attention. He's asking so many questions, and then one will commit namaparad. So best thing is to take care of the child. And Prabhupada said, you stop your chanting, just take care of your son. Don't give some excuses. That happens many times. Oh, I have to attend Mangalarti, and then they forget the children. And the children all are traumatized over a period of time because the mother is never there at home or the father is never there at home, and so on. So what happens when somebody is, especially women, concerned about house and well-being and everything, it's not possible for her to remember all devotional instructions. Now, in this case, Narada Muni personally was instructing his mother, knowing fully well the child which is going to be born is actually a Mahabharata. So, as a spiritual master, even a Mahabharata requires a spiritual master. He gave spiritual instructions. And the mother also was listening. But over a period of time, she just left off. The same thing happened with Arjuna and his son Abhimanyu. Arjuna was explaining about how to enter the Chakra Vyuha. And he explained everything nicely. She was pregnant, Subhadra was pregnant, and the child also remembered. But how to get out of the Chakra Vyuha, she did not hear. She slept off. And therefore, Abhimanyu also knew one half of the whole venture. Getting in, yes, but getting out, no. So this happens. When you sleep off, then it's very difficult to remember all the instructions. Therefore, in this connection, they are considered less intelligent. Because somebody who's intelligent, he will always remember the instructions. Prabhupada makes it very clearly. Being less intelligent, she sometimes forgets devotional service. For those who are strong enough, however, there is no question of forgetting. To remember Krishna, one has to be very strong. One should come, especially Nishta, Ruchi, Asakti. Now, Nishta and Ruchi, Rati, these stages are there in the ladder of devotional service. One has to endeavor to remember Krishna. But in the stage of Asakti, one don't have to remember, endeavor anything. It automatically flows, the pastimes of Krishna. Nam, Guna, Leela, Rupa, everything will automatically flow. Because Asakti is a stage where the Shuddha Nam descends. That is the first time it descends. Before that, we are performing devotional service with our strength. But when it descends, our strength has no value there at that point. When you are pleased, Guru and Krishna, by your chanting, and when the anarthas all go away, Rati, then Asakti stage comes. At that time, even bhajan is not important. Bhajaniya is more important than bhajan. The object of bhajan is more important. That is Krishna. And then comes the next stage, bhav, and then comes prem. All these three stages, the pastimes of the Lord flows into one's mind without any big endeavor. You'll be always chanting and hearing. You'll be always singing bhajans. You'll always be remembering pastimes. And every service such a person does is full, infused with bhav. After Ashakti comes bhav. Everything you do is very much filled with this bhav or Krishna. Making a garland, remembering Krishna, singing so many songs. And this is what Krishna likes. Especially all these songs are composed of Krishna's different names and different pastimes. And when Krishna sees our interest in hearing about his names and pastimes, and then he gives special mercy. Then all his pastimes will move, it will come into our heart without any endeavor. Now we have to read books to remember them. After reading the books, we will forget also sometimes. There was once a little competition when I was in Germany. Radha Madan Mohan was the deities. So we would be standing in front of Radha Madan Mohan, read the Lord, and we had a nice kirtan, this and that. And when we come out of the temple room, we would take Charanamrita or get Mahaprasad. Then the Pujari would ask us, so what dress did Madan Mohan wear? Oh, everybody's mind practically was blank. I thought, okay, let me tell you. I just went inside, looked at the form of the Lord, deities, everything. Then I came and told him. So this is the story of some devotees who see the Lord all the time, and we forget what dress he has worn. And that is why it said meditation on the Lord must start from the lotus feet, his ankle bells, this, that, to the calf muscles, thighs, then the waist, then the belly, the navel, and then it goes towards the chest, and gradually you go and see the face. This is how meditation is done. That is mentioned in the second canto, how to meditate on the Lord. So when we undergo this process, and in this particular case, of course, she was attached to both Prahlad and to the father and to the husband. And naturally, the husband is the one who gives Prahlad, impregnated her with Prahlad. Therefore, her attachment to husband is very strong. And the husband being a big demon, naturally, sometimes she forgets about Krishna and all the instructions which Narada Muni gave to Prahlad Maharaj. Therefore, it is mentioned, therefore, she could not consider very seriously the sublime instructions of Narada. Because she was concerned. That is why it is called, when the gopis of Vrindavan, their attachment to Krishna was there. And their attachment was one pointed. That's why it is called Samartharati. They gave up their husbands, their children, everything, and they came running to Krishna. Therefore, Krishna said, I can never repay this debt. Whereas the queens of Vrindavan, they're called Samanjasarati. The rati is divided, love is divided between their children and Krishna and in-laws. So therefore, they could not control Krishna's mind as much as the gopis controlled. And Krishna was remembering the gopis. And then Kubja, in Mathura, her attachment to Krishna is Sadharani. She wanted to enjoy Krishna. So there are three types of attachment. Sadharani, ordinary, Samanjas are divided, and Samartha is one-pointed. So our goal is to come to the point of Samartha by following the footsteps of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who has come to give Raganuga Bhakti. That is called Samartha, this stage. And our goal is to follow footsteps of Rupa Goswami and all our Guru Parampara, who are all Manjaris. The Brajavasis, they remember Krishna to such a degree, they are ready to, they gave up everything, especially the gopis. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came mainly to give gopi bhav. And because he himself was in the mood of Radharani, therefore, that bhav of Radharani comes from the Manjaris to the gopis and finally to the Radharani. So even though Gopas moods were there, in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's many associates were Gopas also, but he came especially to give Madhurya Bhav. So generally a woman's mind is like that. She is very one-pointed in her attraction or attachment to the husband. This is quite normal for a woman. And if the husband happens to be a pure devotee of the Lord, then of course her fortune is good. She is always assisting him and doing many activities so that he will serve Krishna nicely. Then it's wonderful. And by the grace of the husband, she will also get that special bhav to remember Krishna. So otherwise, if somebody is normally attached, they don't understand the value of human life. They don't understand the goal is Krishna. Therefore, they are considered less intelligent. Even men also. They may be big scientists, but if they don't understand the goal is to give love, to develop love for Krishna, they are as less intelligent and as animalistic as any other animal. And that applies to everybody, man, woman, animals, everybody. Therefore, here less intelligent in this context. But let us read the next verse, text 17. Please repeat after me. Bhavatam api bhuyan me. Haribol. Pooja, you can repeat after me. Bhavatam api bhuyan me.
Bhavatanapi bhuyat me.
Yadi shraddha hate vachaha.
Yadi shraddhate vachaha.
Vaisaradidhi saradhahata.
Vaisharadidhi shraddhantaha.
Sri balanam nache chameyata.
Shri Balam Nache
Prahlad Maharaj continued, my dear friend, if you can place your faith in my words, Simply by that faith, you can also understand transcendental knowledge, just like me. Although you are small children, similarly, a woman can also understand transcendental knowledge and know what is the spirit and what is matter. Sri Balana. See, that is very clearly mentioned in the words itself. Sri Balana. Women are also included. So let us read the purport. These words of Prahlad Maharaj are very important in regard to knowledge descending by disciplic succession. Even when Prahlad Maharaj was a baby within the womb of his mother, he became fully convinced of the existence of the supreme power because of hearing the powerful instructions of Narada and understood how to attain perfection in life by Bhakti Yoga. These are the most important understandings in spiritual knowledge. Yasya deve para bhaktir yata deve tata guru tasya katita hi atta maha prakashante mahatma. This is from Shvetashvatara Upanishad 6.23. Unto those great souls who have implicit faith in both the Lord and the spiritual master, all the imports of the Vedic knowledge are automatically revealed. This is the step of asakti. It is revealed to them. Pastimes flow and the constant remembrance of the Lord. Especially, the condition is one should have implicit faith both in the Lord and the spiritual master. Spiritual master is the via media. You cannot understand Krishna directly. If you accept Krishna, you have to accept his pure devotee also. And by the mercy of the pure devotee, you get to Krishna. But you are always connected, even in the spiritual body. When you get Swarup Siddhi, you go to the spiritual world, you are under the guidance of self-realized spiritual master who has been in the material world, with whom you had association, either as a Diksha Guru or a Shiksha Guru. Mostly it takes Shiksha Guru. It takes many lifetimes also sometimes. But one is serving Krishna under the guidance of such a Shiksha Guru in his original spiritual body, not in this body. This body can go up to Bhav. Prem, you cannot do it. The body will immediately follow. Ata Sri Krishna Namadi na bhaved grahim indriya. Sevan mukha hi jivvado swayam eva spurtada. No one can understand Krishna as he is by the blunt material senses. But he reveals himself to the devotees, being pleased with them for their transcendental loving service unto him. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1-2-234. Bhaktya mama vijanati yavan yaschasmi tatvata tato mam tatvato jnana vishate tad anantara. One can understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead as he is only by devotional service. And when one is in full consciousness of the Supreme, by such devotion, he can enter into the kingdom of God. Full consciousness. That comes when the Shuddhanam descends, Asakti stage, then Bhav stage, then Prem stage. All these three stages are all descending process. Right now we are in the ascending process. We have to get up and make an endeavor to chant, make an endeavor to read, make an endeavor to remember. Many times we don't even remember many things. Krishna also, we are busy buying in the supermarket. We are so caught up in the buying or interacting with other social dealings, we forget about Krishna. One has to become so expert that even in social dealing, one should be able to bring Krishna consciousness into that conversation. Prabhupada taught us, those who have been with Prabhupada, every conversation was connected to Krishna, somehow or other. And he taught us that. How to see Krishna in every situation. There are Vedic instructions. These are Vedic instructions. One must have full faith in the words of the spiritual master and a similar faith in the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Then the real knowledge of Atma, Paramatma, and the distinction between matter and spirit will automatically reveal. This Atma Tattva or spiritual knowledge will be revealed within the core of one's devotee's heart because of having taken shelter of the lotus feet of Mahajan, such as Prahlad Maharaj. In this verse, The word bhuyat may be understood to mean let there be. Prahlad Maharaj offers his blessings to his class friends, saying, also become faithful like me, become bona fide Vaishnavas. A devotee of the Lord desires for everyone to take to Krishna consciousness. Unfortunately, however, people sometimes do not have staunch faith in the words of the spiritual master who comes by the disciple succession, and therefore they are unable to understand transcendental. The spiritual master must be in the line of authorized disciple succession, like Prahlad Maharaj, who received the knowledge from the Narada. If the class friends of Prahlad, the sons of the demons, were to accept the truth through Prahlad, they would certainly also become fully aware of transcendental knowledge. Here the importance again of hearing from a bona fide spiritual master in disciple succession. Very, very important. The words Vaisaradi Tihi refers to the intelligence concerning the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is extremely expert. The Lord has created wonderful universes by his expert knowledge. Unless one is extremely expert, he cannot understand the expert management of the Supreme Expert. One can understand, however, if one is fortunate enough to meet a bona fide spiritual master, coming in the disciple succession from Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, Mother Lakshmi, or Kumaras. These four sampradayas or disciple succession of knowledge and transcendence are called Brahma Sampradaya. Are called Brahma Sampradaya, Rudra Sampradaya, Sri Sampradaya, and Kumara Sampradaya. Sampradaya Vihina Ye Mantra Ste Nishpala Mataha. The knowledge of the Supreme received from such a Sampradaya or disciple succession can give one enlightenment. One does not take to the path of disciple succession. If one does not take to the path of disciple succession, it is not possible for one to understand the Supreme Personality of God. If one understands the Supreme Lord through devotion service with faith in the disciple succession, and then advances further, he awakens his natural love for God, and then his success in life is assured. Just like in the material world also, if one wants to have a bona fide relationship with the opposite sex, one has to properly get married in front of the Lord, in front of the fire, in front of brahmanas and all these things. And then when such a bona fide husband who's qualified impregnates the woman, then the child comes. Of course, nowadays the situation is that people are producing children with marriage, without marriage. But these are called Varna Shankar. Without marriage means Varna Shankar. They're not qualified. They can make themselves mistakes as time goes. But in the material world, because we are living in the material world, with marriage or without marriage, there may be a lot of problems with the children. Therefore, one has to be a very exemplary parents. He must himself have faith in Krishna. He must himself follow the process of Krishna consciousness, both mother and father, and worship the Lord at home, grow tulsi, and do parikrama. All these things will also give impressions in the child's mind, and the child will also follow. He will see the value of all these things when the parents themselves are examples, good examples. But if the parents that eat and sleep and watch TV, then don't expect much. Child may also be following that same thing. Or if the child is very fortunate child, he may come in contact with devotees and he may hear that Krishna consciousness and he can become a devotee. Just like many of the devotees from the West, they've joined this movement. Their parents did not raise them in that Vaishnava culture. But still they were sincere. After all, sincerity can come in anybody's heart. And Krishna will make arrangements. Prahlad Maharaj's previous life story is there. I heard that how he became Prahlad Maharaj. He was actually having a date with a girl. And the date was a place where there's an old Narsingadev ruins. And there was a Narsingha Chaturdashi, the date of that time. So they had a talk, they started their romantic talks, but then they they sort of had a lover's quarrel. They didn't want to talk to each other. Finished. And they fasted whole day. And there was a Nrsingadev temple there in the ruins. The Nrsingadev thought, oh, who is this person who is fasting on my appearance day, Nrsinga Chaturdasi? So that's how that boy became Prahlad Maharaj in his next life. Amazing story. So whether if one is sincere in his heart, like what is the name, that Bilvamangal Thakur, he was sincere about what he was doing. He was going towards this prostitute very sincerely, and then through the prostitute, Krishna gave him instruction. If you have the same greed towards Krishna, you will become a great devotee. And later on, he became a great devotee. He was blind. He became a great devotee. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took some of his works, especially Krishna Karnamrita, which he wrote, which he spoke to Krishna actually. Directly, Krishna was the only person who was the audience. There was nobody, people were there. And Krishna was taking Vilvamangal to Vrindavan. And on the way, he was speaking this nectar, that which was nectar to Krishna's ears, about Krishna's pastimes and glories. So somebody is sincere, it doesn't matter what he was doing. But if he's very sincere in the heart, Krishna is in the heart, he will make some arrangement, amazing arrangement. Same thing, Ajamil also. He named his son Narayan under the direction of some devotee called Lomasha Rishi. That's how he gave the name. Otherwise, he was not interested because he was so far away from the devotional practices which he did when he was a child. During his young age, he was married, he had children, everything he gave up just for the sake of a prostitute. So if somebody is sincere, and by the mercy of a devotee, everything is possible. Doesn't matter man or woman, there's no meaning to that. So we have to work on these points and practice our Krishna consciousness and pray to the Lord that please remove the obstacles in my heart. And there was a nice song I was singing today. I want to just read the purport of that. Let me see if I can find that song. Bhaktivinoda Thakur has written. One minute. I'll read it to you. It's a beautiful song. Sarvasya Tomar, page 205. 1 second. Okay. This is the song before this song called Nivedana Kori Prabhu. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Nivedana Kori Prabhu Tomara Charane Patita Adhama Ami Jane Tribhuane. I make this submission to your lotus feet, O Lord. I am lowly and wretched. This is known throughout the 3 words. Ama sama papi nahi jagata vitare. Mama sama aparati nahi ko samsare. There is no sinner like me in this world. There is no offender like me in all of existence. Say saba papa har aparada ami parihare pai lajja sabe jano tumi. I feel ashamed even in casting off all these sins and offenses. For you know everything about how vast and egregious are my wrongdoings. Tumi bina kara ami loibo sharana. Tumi sarveshwara prajendra nandana. In whom shall I seek refuge other than you? You are the Lord of the Lords, O Brajendra Nandana. Jagata tomar nata tumi sarva maya. Toma prati aparadha tumi karo kshaya. The world is yours, O Master, and you encompass everything. Absolve me of my offenses to you. Tumi toshkalita pada janera ashraya. Tumi bina ara keva ache dayamoy. You are the sanctuary of those who have faltered. O benevolent one, who is there but you? Say Rupa Tava Radhi Jana Jato Tomara Sharnagata Hoibe Satata. All such offenders to you shall always come to the point of surrender to you. Bhakati Vinoda Pade Loya Sharan Tuapade Kare Aja Atme Samarpana. Thus Bhakti Vinod Thakur, surrendering at the lotus feet, now offers you his very self. So this is the prayer. Actually, all of us are very fallen. At least I can consider myself. Those who are pious, they have maybe Janmaishwari, Shuta, Shribir, maybe there. But in my case, it was not like that. But somehow or other, we got in touch. We saw Prabhupada, we heard Prabhupada, we got the mercy of Prabhupada at the opening of Krishna Balram Mandir. And we are still trying our best, whatever we can do, in spite of all the faults. Krishna says every endeavor is covered with faults, just like smoke covers fire. It's not like the devotees are faultless. At some point and stage, they are also faulty. But when they become realized souls, they become faultless. An acharya, a guru, a bona fide spiritual master is faultless. He understands how everything is connected to Krishna, how Krishna is the doer of everything, good, bad, ugly, everything is happening because of Krishna's sanction. Not a blade of grass moves without sanction. Therefore, those who are pure devotees, they know that if I am suffering, that is Krishna's. If I am happy, that is also Krishna. I will never complain. Our Bhakti Sridhar Maharaj said, blame yourself, don't blame anybody. Even Radharani, when she was feeling intense separation along with the gopis, she was blaming herself. She said, I must have done something, not so good things in my previous life. Therefore, I have to be separated from Krishna. See how Radharani is expressing her feelings. She's not telling, well, Krishna just used us, he just enjoyed us, and he just went to Dwarka and got married to so many people. But she blamed herself. It's my misfortune that Krishna left. So this is a very special thing about a devotee. And here, Prahlad Maharaj is getting all his friends to come to this point of surrender to Krishna. But he could remember this instruction simply because of the grace of the spiritual master. So, any questions or comments at this point? Please speak it out.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, this is Geeta. Thank you for your very inspiring class. You had mentioned that we should take parikrama of Tulsi Devi.
Yes, yes.
Oh, because it's not.
Yes, please repeat.
Yeah, I'm asking you. Is there a procedure to it?
Huh?
What is the procedure for taking parikrama of Tulsi?
Well, you have to have a Tulsi plant. You grow a Tulsi plant. Every day you sing the song, Namo Namaha, Tulasi Krishna Prayasi, the song, and do parikrama after the Mangalarati. Go around the Lord, or go around Tulsi, clockwise. And you can offer also a small arati, hoop and deep to Tulsi Devi and flower. So this way, if you do it, then doing parikrama, but you have to grow Tulsi at home. Either you bring a small plant from the temple and take care of them nicely, because the health of Tulsi Devi sort of determines how your devotional creeper is strong or weak. That is also mentioned.
Wow. So, but in the winters, it's very difficult. So, what do we do?
Then you have to ask the temple how they take care of Tulsi. They have Tulsi all throughout the year. They have special light. In the West, you can get special lights, and then you have to put many. I've seen recently also some temple in Russia. Oh my goodness, it's a cold place, but the tulsi was so huge. There were 3, 4, 5 tulsi plants. So they're able to grow.
Yeah, they have a greenhouse. I saw in New Vrindavan, they have a greenhouse, Prabhuji, in the houses.
So you make a small greenhouse, not necessarily. You keep it next to the window, the tulsi, and put a light on top of that. And especially the windows are next to the heater. So you have to make some endeavor for that, especially in the West. In India, it grows naturally. But even in the house, it's not so easy sometimes because the bugs will come very fast. But when I'm in my backyard, the tulsi is growing like a big forest tree. It's a big growing like anything. And rain is coming and is cleaning up the tulsi plants. Very beautiful. So you have to make some endeavor naturally to grow tulsi.
Yeah, but if it's in the corner, it's okay, right? Because it's not always in the center.
No, you when you do parikrama, you bring it in the center, then you put it back next to the altar or wherever the tulsi is under the light. But 24 hours practically you have to keep light in the winter time there. The special plant lights.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Yeah. Yes, Pooja, you had some questions? Anybody else having questions? Partha, Rita, Surinder Bhandari.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. No question. Everything is very well explained. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Jai. All grace.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandat Pranam.
Jai Ho. Jai
Partha.
Partha.
Nice to see you and hear from you and get your association. The class was nectarian. And you were saying that at the bhav level, asakti level, they start descending.
Yes.
That is, very nice to know. Yeah, the mercy of the Krishna, mercy of the Lord is very important. And Vaishnavas, without nothing is possible. So nice. Good. Yeah, and Prahlad Maharaj, even all the demonic people also can be delivered with the mercy of the Vishnu Vaishnavas if they have exactly then.
The good fortune.
Like we saw Kirata, Hunandra, all the Yavanas and the Mechas also got delivered.
Yes,
To
exactly.
speak of people who were born in the Bharat Bhumi. Very wonderful. Thank you.
See, there is a natural process which is descends. For example, the rain comes from the clouds and it descends. Now, in some parts of the world, they found a method of spraying some special salt in the clouds. It is some sort of special salt. I don't remember the name. The Israel was doing that, and they were generating rain from this clouds by spraying with this salt. And they also did the Arabs also thought, well, the Israel is doing, they got the know-how from Israel and they started putting. Now the point is, this is an artificial method. And the end result was that recently this year they found, due to this process of putting salt, all the Arab nations, they had a heavy flash rain, so much so it was flooded. All the cars were floating, everything was floating. So you can lead an artificial life. You can produce many results, which will be very amazing, just like Israel was able to produce this result. But then, in some countries also, they did that, they had flash rains, and they had suffered a lot. They had a lot of losses. So, because normally in deserts, no rain comes, because there's no water evaporating to get rain. Sometimes some rain comes, maybe. So therefore, artificially, we cannot become Krishna conscious. Sometimes, yes. And there are many sahajas who act as if they are great devotees. when they hear about Krishna consciousness, their tears will come. That is all artificial. Naturally, tears will not come so easily. That comes at the stage of Ashakti Bhav and Prem. When you're chanting Shuddha Nam, then tears will come automatically. But before chanting the Shuddha Nam, tears may not come. Like we are all chanting every day, does tears come in our eyes? Do we feel separation from Krishna? No. But I don't know who else does that. But Prabhupada, yes. When Prabhupada was chanting Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari, I was there in one of the classes before Prabhupada started the class. And at some point, his voice got choked and he could not sing anymore. And there was a big silence. And we were wondering what to do, Then Prabhupada went deep within. He was actually participating in the Lord's pastimes. Then after some time, he came out. He opened his eyes. And the tears were coming actually. But then he opened his eyes, chant Hare Krishna. Then everybody was chanting Hare Krishna. That day we did not have the class. Now Prabhupada was in such a platform. Bhav and Prem platform. We are sadhakas. He is a perfected soul. He is doing devotion service in Siddha Deha. We are not even doing properly service even in the Sadhaka Deha. So we have to understand that when Narada Muni spoke, it had the right effect on that soul called Prahlad. Not everybody. But then Prahlad also got the mercy of Nrsimhadev in his previous life. And this life he got a bona fide spiritual master, and by his mercy he could hear the pure pastimes and he could remember Krishna all the time. So combined mercy of Nrsimhadev and Narada Muni, he got it. It started in one lifetime before, and then finally he got the spiritual master in the next lifetime. So these are all special things about the uniqueness of devotional service, devotional life. And we should always aspire to associate with advanced devotees, hear from them. Because everybody is reading books, but not everybody understands or finds the nectar, because that takes a certain amount of adhikar. Minimum madhyam adhikari, minimum. Kanishta cannot understand. He can only understand the words. Because he is nama aparadhi. He is still committing offenses. Madhyam adhikari means he is free from offenses and he is liberated from the three modes of nature.
I am asking, the prema bhakti is not possible in the sadhaka deha. That means if somebody is in
sadhaka deha, no. Sadhaka, see, to get prema, you have to attain before bhav. And at the stage of bhav itself, the love of Krishna is so intense that prema, he will not be able to handle prema. So he gives up that body. And then he enters into another body where he starts with prema, bhav and prema. But sadhakas like us, we cannot. We have no. If we follow the instructions properly of Prabhupada, what he has given the program, that is more than good enough. But perfection to get, that is another stage.
So
Shuddha Nam has to descend. Whether we are chanting Shuddha Nam, that is all given in the nectar of instruction, and also nectar of devotion, and also Madhurya Kadambani, everything is given this. Yes?
Yeah. Somebody can be in a material body and yet have the prema bhakti. I mean, just theoretically.
Why you act theoretically, Baba? You hear the instructions in the Shastras. You cannot get prem in this body. Until you have done past lives, so much sukriti, bhakti unmukha sukriti has come that you can have some prema. There are pure devotees who are still alive, but they have prema. They're not dead. But sadhaka, when you're doing sadhan stage, then you have to come to that point of bhav and prem, you give up that body. That's what I heard.
Okay. Prabhuji,
Yes.
I think I was just thinking that, the easiest, like they say, take Lord's name all the time. If everybody
Yes.
puts their child's name as Narayan, I mean God's name or Rama, whatever, Krishna,
Yes.
Lord Krishna. So it's one of the easy ways of, reaching the higher level at the time of death. What do you think?
Yeah. Yeah, why not? But you have to see it as a connected to. When you see Ajamil's son's name was Narayan, but that name was given to him by one sage, Lomasha Rishi, and he gave that name only to get rid of the sadhu. Otherwise, the sadhus will start preaching. So he had got Narayan name, and he had a son, and he was saying, Narayan, come here, Narayan, sit with me on my lap and eat this, that. But he was not committing any offenses.
Right.
He was simply calling his son. He was not thinking that I am chanting Narayan's name, the Lord. No. He was simply chanting. And in this way, he never committed Namaparad. Therefore, he was a Madhyamadikari. And then, due to that offenseless name chanting, Vishnudutas came and prevented the Yamadutas from taking to Yamaraj. Only because of that stage. Namabhas is called.
Right.
So one has to come to that point. Of course, giving a name of, how many times you will chant, hey Krishna, come here, hey Rama, come here. You chant you're not thinking of the Lord, but by chanting the name of the Lord, you get purified.
Similarly,
And gradually
Prabhuji, yeah. Similarly, people who go to Kashi, they may not do any penance the whole life, but they die there. They also can. I'm just saying, it's some methods
but they don't get spiritual form. They may get at the most mukti, but that is merging into the impersonal Brahman. Mainly, many people want to die in Kashi because they want mukti there. Mukti is different from prema. It is the highest form of mukti, if one wants to say that.
So what is the difference, Prabhuji?
The difference is in mukti, one wants to merge into the impersonal Brahma Jyoti, into the bodily effulgence of the Lord. And he has no spiritual form, not developed attachment to the Lord yet. There is no service attachment. But prema is when he has service attachment to the Lord and is chanting the holy names purely. Then when you get prema, then you go to Vaikuntha or to Golaka Vrindavan. But if you die in Kashi and all, you end up in the Brahma Jyoti, that's all. And afterwards you have to take birth again after some time. Because in Brahma Jyoti, there is no service attitude. The soul doesn't develop his hands, feet, leg, everything. It is only a small speck. And that also, he gets the Brahma Jyoti, not of Krishna directly, but of Karano Dakshai Vishnu. Because his Brahma Jyoti controls the affairs in the material world. Therefore, his Brahma Jyoti, you go there, you experience the oneness of the Lord, and then after some time, you will again fall down. There is a verse like that in the Bhagavatam.
But when you come back, you are at a higher level, right?
Yes, you might take birth in a Brahmin's family or in a pious family, or a king or a Vaishya, very wealthy person, like that.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Jai Ho. Any other questions, comments? Otherwise, we'll do a small bhajan. Okay?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Jai Ho, Prabhuji, Surendra Bhandari ji. Jai Ho.
Jai Ho, Jai Ho, Jai Ho, Prabhuji.
सब ठीक है, ठीक ठाक है,
सब मजे में हैं और आपकी न्यू जर्सी में इंतजार कर रहे हैं कब आ रहे हैं.
हाँ चलो भाई, भगवान का इच्छा हो तो आ जाएंगे एक दिन। हम थे 7 साल, I was in America, I was preaching, I was traveling length and breadth of America, doing cooking classes at people's home. Mostly white Americans, not Indians, but white Indian. Some families I used to go and visit them, made them life members. But teaching cooking to Indians is like taking coal to Newcastle. They're generally every part of India, people coming, they have their own standard style of cooking, and they are pretty good generally. The ladies are well trained at home, but in my case, I was a brahmachari. I started cooking, and then I used to always connect to people through cooking, teaching them how to cook nicely. We used to make about 6-7 preparations: rice, dal, chapati, or puri, sabji, halwa, like that, 6-7 items. And then there'll be a school a class of group of 12 people. 2 people will make one preparation, and I will supervise and show them how to do everything. And then we will offer. For them, it is very big endeavor to even take, because most of the Westerners, they put the finger in the mouth all the time while cooking. They keep on eating things. But I would tell them, no, you cannot taste anything. This is cooking for Krishna. That's why my cooking classes were called Karma-Free Gourmet Cooking Class Party. So in the name of party, we would bring them, and we would do kirtan. I had small Gaurnitai deities at the time, and I pour them and show them the simple process of offering the food by chanting the holy names. That was how I was. 7 years I spent like that. Traveled length and breadth of America. It was a very nice time. I had a nice time. So we'll sing a little bhajan. It's okay. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari.
Jaya Madhava Kunja Bihari.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari.
Jaya Madhava.
Radha Madhava. Jaya
Radha
Radha.
Madhava Kunja Bihari.
Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari.
Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari.
Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari.
Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari.
Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana.
Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana.
Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana.
Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana.
Jamuna Tira Vanachari.
Yamuna Tira Vanachari.
Jamuna Tira Vanachari.
Yamuna Tira Vanachari.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari.
Jaya
Radha Madhava
Kunja Bihari.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari.
Jaya
Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna.
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Rama.
Rama.
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari.
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol,
Bol,
Hari
Hari
Bol, Nitai
Bol,
Gaura Hari
Hari
Bol,
Bol.
Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol.
Hari
Srila
Bol.
Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Gurudev ki jai, Gaurita Radha Raman Giriraj Giri Gopal ki jai, Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Sukadev Goswami Prabhu ki jai,
Jai,
Srila Prabhupada
Ki Jai,
ki jai. All glories are assembled before His Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
All glories are assembled
Hare
before His
Krishna,
Hare Krishna.
Hare
All
Krishna,
glories are assembled before His Hare Krishna.
Hare
All
Hare
Krishna.
glories, all glories, all glories. Guru and Dharma.
Hare
All glories to
Krishna.
Shri.
Hare Krishna. Hare
Ananta
Thank you
Koti
so
Krishna.
much,
Brahma
Prabhuji, for this nectar class. And
Manchakalpataru
Vanchakalptarashya Kripa Sindhuvacha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavyo Namo Namaha. Anantakoti Vaishnava ki jai. Namacharya Shridas
Jai,
Thakur Srila
Jai,
Prabhupada ki jai. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Jai,
His Grace Ram Shraddha Prabhu ji ki jai.
Jai.
Thank you so
Hare
much,
Krishna,
Prabhuji. Hare
Hari
Krishna.
Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna.
Dandavat Pranam.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you.